You know, when India's largest bank drops its annual report, it's not just another corporate document. It's kind of like a health check for a huge chunk of the nation's economy. So let's dive into the 2024 report card for the State Bank of India and see what the numbers are really telling us.
First things first, we have to get our heads around the sheer scale we're dealing with. We are talking about a bank that serves over 50 crore people. I mean, that's more than the entire population of the United States and Canada put together. So yeah, when SBI makes a move, millions and millions of people feel it.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to look at SBI's performance through three big themes from their own report: how they're being responsive to what customers need today, responsible in their role in society, and resilient as a financial engine. Then we'll wrap it up with a look at what might be next.
All right, let's kick things off with responsive. In today's world, that really means one thing above all else: digital. So how does a bank that's been around for over 200 years keep up in the age of the smartphone?
Well, a huge part of the answer is this right here, the YONO app. YONO stands for You Only Need One, and it's really the heart of their whole strategy to put a full-service bank right in the palm of your hand.
And people have jumped on board in a massive way. Over 7.4 crore people are now using the YONO platform. To put that in perspective, that's a digital user base bigger than the entire population of the United Kingdom. Just wow.
But here's what's really telling. This isn't some app that people download and then just forget about. Nope. We're seeing over 1.28 crore logins every single day. That shows a massive shift in how people are actually banking now.
And this really gets to the heart of their whole philosophy. The bank itself says being responsive is all about using technology to meet people's needs and make banking easy. Those YONO numbers, they prove they're not just talking the talk.
Okay, let's shift gears to our next big idea. Because being this massive isn't just about cool tech and making money. It's also about the part you play in the country as a whole. And that's where this idea of being responsible comes in. This really sets the stage. For a bank of this size, acting responsibly isn't just a nice to have. It creates huge ripple effects all across society.
And you can literally see that ripple effect right here. This chart shows where the money's flowing. You've got over 13 lakh crore in personal loans, helping families buy homes and cars, then nearly 11.5 lakh crore fueling big companies, plus all the crucial support for small businesses and farmers. It's the financial engine for pretty much every part of the economy.
And that responsibility isn't just about the economy. It also extends to the planet. SBI is actively financing projects aimed at making a positive environmental impact, basically putting their money where their mouth is to fund a greener future.
And outside of pure banking, their social responsibility programs are making a real difference on the ground. We're talking about tangible things, like upgrading schools, giving out thousands of sewing machines to help women earn a living, and reaching almost 5.5 million people with these programs.
So, the bank is modern, it's socially aware, but the big question is it strong? And that brings us to our final theme, resilient. This is all about the core financial health of the bank. Is the engine running smoothly?
So, what does it mean for a bank to be resilient? Well, at its core, it means it can take a punch. It can handle economic shocks because it has a strong capital foundation and it's smart about managing risk. Let's see what that looks like in the numbers.
And boom, here's the headline number: a net profit of over 61,000 crore rupees for the financial year. Just to put that into perspective, that is one of the highest profits ever recorded by any Indian company. It's an absolutely staggering figure.
But what's maybe even more impressive is the trend. This isn't some one-off lucky year. Look at this growth. From under 32,000 crore in 2022 to over 50, and now smashing past 61. That's a powerful story of sustained, strong performance.
Now, profit is great, but the real health check for any bank is the quality of its loans. In bank speak, they call this asset quality, and for SBI, it's reportedly the strongest it has ever been. And this number is the proof in the pudding. The net NPA ratio is just 0.57%. Let me break that down. It means that for every 10,000 rupees the bank has loaned out, less than 57 rupees are at risk of not being paid back. A number that low is a huge sign of a very, very healthy and resilient bank.
And hey, you don't just have to take their word for it. This kind of strength is getting noticed on the world stage. They've been named one of the top 25 strongest banking brands globally and one of India's most trusted brands. This is the kind of outside validation that really backs up the story the numbers are telling.
So let's pull all this together. What's the final takeaway? We've seen a bank that's getting more digital, more involved in society, and financially stronger than it's ever been. So where does that leave us?
Well, it really all boils down to this question, doesn't it? As India's biggest bank charges into the future, how is this unique mix of massive size, modern technology, and a sense of responsibility going to change the way that hundreds of millions, even a billion, people handle their money? That's the really fascinating story to watch.